some breaking news on the flood front, Andrew. There was really a bit of a mess, wasn't there, in more ways than one, when it came to the response here, providing immediate and expanded economic support for one part of Northern Rivers in New South Wales, but not another. It continues to be a headache for the government.
Well, they've got there, I guess. That's the end result, Kieran. The federal and New South Wales governments are set to announce a $1 billion plus package to address criticism they have not done enough for the Northern Rivers area in the wake of the floods. Prime Minister Scott Morrison confirming that announcement will occur from his ministers while he was in Perth today, and denying suggestions the announcement had been delayed until he returned from Perth.
Not at all. It was late not last night, but the night before, and over the course of that evening, that the request had come through from the New South Wales government. The National Security Committee of Cabinet met for several hours yesterday. I was here in Perth and was at that meeting, as was the Attorney General. And in working through the proposal that came forward, we've been able to finalise some arrangements today, and the Minister for Emergency Management and Disaster Resilience will be making announcements further on those issues later today.
So you'd expect that during the program. This package will provide emergency payments to flood-stricken places other than Lismore, such as Ballina. Some conjecture overnight the announcement had been delayed because Scott Morrison was waiting to come back. But I've actually heard there was something else holding it up. Federal concerns around their ability to fund a proposed $10,000 back home suite of packages that under their National Resilience Agency requirements. That component, I understand, is worth $40 million of the package. Also talk of $5,000 grants for renters, and landlords will get $5,000 grants to clean up properties before they rent them out to tenants. Now, the Upper House Liberal MP in New South Wales, Catherine Cusack, who lives on the North Coast, last night actually quit her parliament over what she saw as a failure of the federal government to fund areas like Ballina with $1,000 per adult emergency payments, which have been given to people in Lismore. Labor MP for Richmond, federal MP Justine Elliott, was complaining about this with Tom Connell this morning, as the Nationals electorate of Page has been funded and her electorate has not.
The fact is the Prime Minister could sign the piece of paper today to deliver that extra funding to this region. He could have signed it yesterday or the day before that, but he hasn't. This is just the height of incompetence from this Prime Minister. He has treated this community with such disrespect. People in their most desperate need have to have access to this funding, and quite frankly, it's offensive and disgusting.
Now, better late than never, perhaps, in terms of this funding. But you do wonder if the emergency payments aspect at least could have been better handled, and areas like Mullumbimby and Ballina, which are hard hit like Lismore, could have been included at the time of the first Prime Ministerial announcement of a national emergency last week. Agriculture Minister David Littleproud told us today the assessments were being made on the payments to other areas, but people had to bear in mind just how badly Lismore had been hit. He compared it to Cyclone Tracy.
Lismore is a modern-day Cyclone Tracy. It is to a scale well beyond anything we've seen since Cyclone Tracy. You have to be on the ground to appreciate it. I saw the bushfires firsthand, and it shocked me, but what I saw in Lismore on Monday was just shattering. And those people are going through a different level of pain than any Australian has probably endured for some time.